So what I want you to do is remember how we said before in one of our previous calls about like that readiness position?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want you to just to be in that kind of readiness stance. And here's what I want you to do. Close your eyes for a moment. I want you to remember one of the last times that you were playing with your kids or playing with your dog. Is there a recent
Mm-hmm.
time where you can remember doing that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Perfect. I want you to step into that moment like you're there now. And as you're doing that, and your eyes are closed, I just want you to feel the essence of what you felt in your body, in the way that you were moving, in the way that you're playing in your body as if you're doing it now. You don't have to move that way, but just feel in your body as if you're doing it. Okay?
Okay.
And I want you to remember what you were seeing, what you might have been hearing, and I want you to feel that motion of playing with them in your body. Okay?
Okay.
And as you do that, and keep that feeling in your body, I want you to say something out loud that makes you feel really, really strong and really, really like free. Make any kind of noise or say anything out loud that makes you feel just great. Go ahead.
Ah!
I love it. Do it again. One more time. And what's your favorite color? Blue. All right, perfect. So, what I want you to do is feel that motion of playing with your kids or your dog in your body. I want you to imagine that your whole body is surrounded in like a blue mist. And then out loud, make that sound again. Good. Now, I want you to imagine that feeling of stuckness or that picture in your mind of stuck. But as you picture that thing of stuck, I want you to imagine it's like 20 feet out in front of you, like you're seeing yourself in a stuck position, like 20 feet away from you. Can you see that?
Okay. Yep.
Perfect. And keep that feeling of playing with your kids or your dog in your body. And keep that sensation of like that movement in your body. Keep imagining that mist of blue around you. Make that sound one more time. But before you do it, what I'm going to have you do is make that sound and just pull that picture of that stuckness a little bit closer to you, but not all the way. All right.
Okay.
So go ahead, that feeling in your body, that blue mist, make the sound and pull it just a little bit closer. There you go. Make it again and pull it even closer. There you go. Now, this time I want you to pull that image closer, but only in like arm's reach. So it's still a little bit away from you. So make it that sound again and pull it closer. There you go. Now I want you to notice that picture there right in front of you. As you're feeling that feeling of playing with your kids or your dog, having a great time, and without opening your eyes, just tell me, what do you feel in your body right
In my body right now, I feel it's like a torn between like having this fun, relaxing, proud moment. And then while seeing that picture, I just want to like pull the me out of that picture to join the other
now?
side.
Okay. So now here's what I want you to do. Can you imagine as if you're kind of like standing in a movie theater?
Hmm.
Okay. I want you to imagine as you're standing there in the movie theater in front of all the seats, I want you to imagine that your body is floating outside of you back into the projector room behind you. And
Okay.
when you're up here in the projector room with me, I want you to look way down there at you, looking up at the screen of that stuckness. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. What I want you to do is imagine shrinking that screen down to the size of your iPhone way out there and make the picture kind of like black and white. Okay.
Okay. Hmm.
How do you feel right now?
I'm watching myself from the projector room standing there with like a small image of it and it feels small like it doesn't like literally the emotion is like I could crush it if I wanted to.
That sounds like a good idea. Why don't we try that for a second? What I want you to do is I want you to imagine stepping in. You know how like this thought of that stuckness can have like a beginning of the thought and the very end of the thought?
Hmm.
I want you to imagine stepping into the end of this thought, okay? And on the count of
Hmm.
three, when I tell you to, we're just going to reverse the whole thought as if people are walking backwards, talking backwards, whatever the stuckness is literally reversing and expanding. Whatever it might be, we're going to see it in reverse, okay?
Okay.
So start at the end of the thought and reverse everything. Go ahead. Boop boop playing with the kids. Playing with the dog. Now, step out of that picture and shrink that picture down and put it over and above your head, feeling all the feelings shift and calm, pushing that picture all the way back into the sunset behind you. And you know the sound that a nail gun makes?
Hmm.
I want you to imagine nailing it back there. And when you know that that picture, that memory is back there, and no matter how hard you try to pull it back, it's stuck there for life. I want you to try to pull it back and notice what happens instead. Now, open your eyes. Nice deep breath. What's the color of your shirt?
Orange.
Oh, I'm colorblind. I thought it was pink, nonetheless.
Oh,
Um, think of stuck for a moment and keep breathing. What do you feel?
it's like I can't, when I try to go to stuck, I'm there for a second, but then I'm mentally like free.
Hmm,
That makes, yeah.
it does. First of all, give yourself a pat on the back for that first step. Good. Now, close your eyes for a moment. Let's do one more thing.
Okay.
Hand on your belly, and I want you to keep breathing, but you don't have to do it fast or slow, just at a normal pace. Just keep breathing. And I want you to imagine again that kind of that stuck thought of yours about one or two steps away from you. Just keep breathing. And what I want you to do is I want you to imagine that stuckness version of you is totally breathing fine. And I want you to imagine that the entire picture expands really quickly so it has all the space in the world to move. Now, take one step in your mind. In your mind, take one step closer to this image. Ah, take one step closer to the image. Ah, each step feeling even more relaxed. And now I want you to actually step into this image of that stuck version of you. Keep breathing. Hmm. Keep breathing and tell me, how do you feel?
I feel more like ready to face the situation.
Hmm.
So in my mind and what's happening in the situation is happening like around me and not necessarily to me.
I like that. So take this feeling of just feeling readiness and free. Would you say there's a sense of free or calmness to it?
Free, yeah.
I like that. I like that. Take this sense of ready and free, and I want you to imagine walking up to that hair salon chair again. And before you sit down, I want you to feel your belly going in and out because you're breathing full. when you're ready, in your mind, I want you to imagine seeing and feeling yourself sitting back down into that chair and keep breathing and keep breathing. Now, how long, keep your eyes closed. How long had you been dealing with this for a while now? How long has it been?
Yeah, I would say years. Yeah.
Okay. So keep breathing as you imagine seeing and feeling yourself in that chair. Is the chair physically comfy?
No, not really.
Well, that's too bad. Maybe we'll pick a better one next time. I want you to imagine in almost hyperspeed, like double pace. I want you to imagine that woman doing all the work she was doing, but keep breathing. Keep feeling yourself breathe. And make that noise out loud that made you feel really good a bit ago. One more time. There you go. And see her come to the end of the job. Now, step out of that chair, step back into Jess's body right here on the Zoom. Open your eyes and celebrate for a moment. Yes. Now, give yourself a pat on the back. The reason we do that is because we need to teach the nervous system to associate pleasure to what we just did. So think of stuck.
Okay.
And what do you feel when you think of that representation?
Um,
Hmm,
I think of stuck as like being like temporary. Yeah. It's like
interesting.
temporary and somehow that thought makes it more like manageable. Yeah.
Okay. So when you think of the idea of stuck in your mind, tell me what you feel in your body. Go ahead and think about it and tell me what you feel in your body. Just observe.
I can feel that like my stance is just more calm. My knees are bent, which is not typical.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
How does that feel when you think about stuck?
Feels really good, mostly because stuck is a sense that usually brings up a feeling of being uncomfortable.
Hmm. So what if stuck for now on meant I am temporarily in this position that I will get out of soon? What if
Yeah,
that's what it meant from here on out?
that would be amazing.
What if every time that we thought of being stuck in general, suddenly we could even breathe lighter? Try it right now. Think of stuck and just feel light and free in your body as you think about stuck. The idea of that. How
Yeah.
nice does that feel in the body?
Yeah,
All right.
it feels good.
Now, do me a favor. You can just sit down for a moment.
Okay.
Hold that for around. All right. So, um, what was the first pet that you ever had?
The first pet, I want to say it was a fish. Yeah.
Interesting. That makes sense.
Uh-huh.
What is your favorite kind of music?
Um, I, that's a good question. Just like pop music.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Now think of stuck.
Okay.
Whoa, look at that. What was
Yeah.
that? What's
Well, because I'm thinking of fish and pop music now, right? So I can't.
what's the feeling in your body though?
Yeah. Well, I think the feeling is like pop music generally like brings some joy. And I think, going back to fish is definitely like I really have to like focus on what was that first pet. And so I think then trying to pull up stuck, I like can't associate another feeling to stuck because my mind is somewhere else.
What if I told you that that feeling of having a hard time getting back to the thought, and then
Yeah.
in as a result of that, the hard time getting back to the feeling of stuck? What if I told you that this is going to be a lasting feeling?
I mean, that would be absolutely incredible.
So, what I want you to do is you're going to tell me in about, well, give me a weekly update, but the first update will be a week. And we'll make the
Okay.
second update. Actually, we'll just say one update every week for the next 3 weeks. I am willing to bet that this is a gone thing for you. Can I explain why in simple?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen, it's not there anymore, but when you first began working with me, did you ever see on my Instagram it said NAC by chance?
Yes.
Okay. Most people think it's a supplement. That's not a supplement. I was not aware that that was even titled a supplement. It means neuroassociative conditioning, which is a very complicated way of saying it's just conditioning the nervous system to have new associations. So when someone thinks of something, right, when they have a phobia, say for heights, for
Mhm.
example, and they just think about being on heights, their nervous system has learned to associate the feelings of massive discomfort, and it's just automatic. All we have to
Right.
do is change the associations altogether. When we do that, that actually does last as long as we want it to. Do you want this to last?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a big enough reason for this to last?
Yes.
Okay, then it will. So you're going to notice anytime that you think about stuck,
Hmm.
what is that feeling?
Well, now it's funny, right? Stuck is
There
funny.
you
So,
there you go.
yeah.
So what happens is, and by the way, the C in NAC just means conditioning. So even right now, the reason why I will keep having you feel good and then think of stuck is because I'm just helping you to reinforce that new connection that you made. So here's what we're gonna do. Let me
Okay.
know tomorrow. Tomorrow, at some point in your day, I want you to think of the concept of stuck and message me over WhatsApp. Tell me how you feel.
Okay. Okay.
After that, after that, we're going to do a weekly update for the next 3 weeks and tell me how you feel. I have no doubt that this is a thing of the past for you. All right?
Okay. Okay.
All right. We'll chat with you soon. I look forward to the updates.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks, Tyler.
Bye.
Bye.